What if we built a single colossal escalator from sea level to the top of Mount Everest? This week, we want to make one of the world's most difficult journeys easier, a lot easier. An escalator to the top of Mount Everest. Let's start with the easy part, the geometry. Mount Everest is 8,948 meters high. A standard escalator is built at a 30-degree angle. A little trigonometry tells us that to gain 8,848 meters in height, our escalator would need to be about 17.7 kilometers or 11 miles long. Escalators move at about half a meter per second. This means your trip to the summit would take around 35,000 seconds, or just under 10 hours. So, a 10-hour ride to the top of the world, simple enough, except for a few small problems. First, the ground. The Himalayas are not stable. They are actively being pushed upwards by tectonic plates. The Khumbu Glacier, which you'd have to build over, moves several feet per day. Then there's the weather. At the summit, you are in the jet stream. Winds can exceed 200 miles per hour. Temperatures can drop to minus 60 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, the metal steps would become brittle enough to shatter, and the lubricant for the gears would be frozen solid. Let's assume you solve all of that. You build a structure strong enough to defy the jet stream on foundations that can shift with the glacier, with a heating system that can keep an 11-mile strip of metal from freezing. You've now encountered the biggest problem. The problem is you. Humans need weeks to acclimatize to high altitudes. Your body needs to slowly create more red blood cells to carry the little oxygen that's available. If you ascend 8,000 meters in 10 hours, you don't acclimatize. Your brain would swell in a condition called high-altitude cerebral edema. Your lungs would fill with fluid from high-altitude pulmonary edema. Long before you reach the summit, you would lose consciousness and die. Your corpse would then continue its stately, dignified 10-hour journey to the top. So an open-air escalator is really just a very slow, very cold, and very efficient killing machine. The only solution would be to enclose the entire 11-mile structure in a pressurized, heated tube. It would need its own life support system to maintain sea-level air pressure from bottom to top. It would also need a backup power source and a rescue plan for when it inevitably breaks down. So, if you did all that, if you built the single most expensive, environmentally destructive, and structurally ambitious object in human history, what would you have? You'd have a 10-hour ride in a narrow, windowed corridor. You would have built the world's longest, slowest, and most dangerous diagonal elevator. You'd arrive at a pressurized summit station where you could look at the top of the world through a window, but you couldn't go outside. It would be a ride that offers all the majestic scenery of the inside of a pipe, culminating in a brief visit to a gift shop at 29,000 feet. For that experience, it's probably better to just stay home. The view would be amazing, but the price of the ticket would be astronomical, and the escalator would be a death trap.